this title here, which I think for some reason I've got in my mind Magnetic Cage Closed. This is very Portal-esque. We'll see. First person puzzle game anyway. So which Portal is essentially. God, I love Portal 2 actually. I think I played Portal 2 before I played Portal as well. Oh, what is my TV on? That seems a bit strange that I have to adjust that. Is it on movie mode? All that matters is the choices you made.
Prisoner XE47623, welcome to Facility 7. Out of all the numerous scum that inhabit death row, you have been tagged as completely expendable, and you have therefore been placed here, in my care. I am William Keene, the warden of this facility, and the man in charge of the experimental weapons program. In here, I will give you two options: cooperation or death. In Facility 7, we believe in both punishing and rewarding prisoners. If you cooperate and somehow manage to succeed in every trial we place before you, your criminal record will be erased. From then on, you'll be free to ruin your life out in the real world once more. If you start falling behind, however, or make too many mistakes, we shall have no use for you, and your sentence will be carried out.
Cake, is that a reference to Portal?
Now, your first choice. Either you walk up to the door and enter the transit, or you can stay in here. If you choose to stay, we will fill the chamber with chlorine gas, and you will die a slow, agonizing death. You have 1 minute to make up your mind.
I'm not going to be enslaved. Maybe it's 6 cast on this. It's a bit fucked up, isn't it? It just makes you think of the Holocaust, really. Chamber of gas. When I move, everything wobbles a little bit. Like the sink just wobbles. Don't know what that's called. It's a little bit like That is it. That's the whole game. I made a choice, and the choice is done. Samuel Lidstrom. I actually thought I'd probably get an achievement for that, but I found one ending anyway. And all 9 endings.
Prisoner XE47.
Otherwise known as Eggsy. Come on. Come on now.
Now, your first choice. Either you walk up to the door and enter the transit, or you can stay in here. If you choose to stay, we will fill the chamber with chlorine gas, and you will die a slow, agonizing death. You have 1 minute to make up your mind.
Actually makes me feel a bit motion sickness type thing with it being so blurry and glitchy or whatever it is.
So, you choose life then? How wise.
I
Some
chose
people
not to
break
choose
down
life.
before we even start.
I chose
They
something
say the
else.
first few hours are the hardest, when everything is new and traumatic. Some even cry like babies, failing to see that they have been given an opportunity. I will send you to the basic evaluation module first. The people upstairs have had a hard time finding suitable subjects in death row, so we have been ordered to stop wasting resources. If you ask me, though, what is there to waste?
I mean, the lights on that wall go that
I will
way,
leave you for
and
now.
the lights there will go
Our
that way.
dear
So
prison psychologist will take care of the basics. Good luck, prisoner XE476223. And remember, there is always a way out.
Welcome to Facility 7, prisoner XE47623. My name is Dr. Karen Womberg, the prison psychologist. That, however, is not really what's important right now. What is important is that you pay attention and learn quickly, or you won't make it far in this place. In the middle of this chamber, there is a device that you will need. It's still what the people upstairs call a prototype, but it should suffice for now. We call it a magnet gun, but I won't tell you how it works since no one here expects you to have an advanced knowledge of physics. Just do what most prisoners do. Push a few buttons and see what happens. I suppose a few words of warning are in order. That device will not only apply forces to objects around you, but you will also be affected. So the stronger the power setting on the magnet gun, the greater the force that pushes or pulls on you and the objects. When you are done playing around, just take the elevator, and I will guide you further in the next chamber. Wish to strain you just yet, so we'll start simple. A button and a box. This is all you need to worry about. Feel free to toss it around a bit before moving along. Realized by now that the D-27 magnetic propulsion device can both attract and repel the objects you encounter. In the next chamber, you will also see how it can affect you. Here, though, it's more of the same. Boxes and buttons.
Nothing crazy demanding so far.
The force that propels you becomes greater if you jump after it builds up. Think of it like tensing your leg muscles a little extra before making the leap. Everything is going smoothly so far, and you seem to understand the most fundamental uses of the magnet gun. But just so you know, this is the easy part. I would hate for you to get your hopes up, only to have them crushed later on.
I had that game called Re-something as well. That's
If you can make it across without falling down even once, you will get an extra star in the protocol. Otherwise, well, I guess there are other promising inmates. Disappointing. Well, no matter. I'm sure you will do your absolute best to not disappoint me again. The device in your hands will not make things lighter for you. The D-27 prototype is still a bit rough around the edges, and has a fairly limited power output. It will be interesting to see how you handle these heavier objects. are doing excellent. So far. I have high hopes that you shall prove to be at least an intermediate source of data. That is, if you reach the more mentally demanding challenges. This place, it's more like a marathon than a sprint. Take your time and learn the basics before you move on. Once the evaluation is over, you will have precious little time to learn.
Oh, not too challenging, really. So far, obviously, because it teaches you how to gun.
Look around you, observe the area, and use the environment to your advantage. This is the most important advice I can give you. Others who monitor you later on will probably not be as generous with their advice as I am.
Am I being duffed in? Oh, I am. Hmm. Didn't I say, just like at the end of the last one? Oh, it's not difficult. realise that's a cube dispenser. I thought that was a button.
Boxes and buttons, right. I think we've got this covered. Moving along.
It required 2 boxes to activate. Had I known it was a dispenser, I would have done that in a lot less time. It's alright, this title.
I am certain that you can do better than you did in the last chamber. Stay sharp, dear. Neither of us would like the things I would have to do to you if you start falling behind.
Hey, what's that? Can it take it with me? Square doesn't go into a round hole, unfortunately. There's the smaller.
This chamber is different than what you've seen so far. In fact, it's not about manipulating magnetic forces or weapons testing. In here, it's all about you making a choice. Is that clear? There will be no second chances at this, just so you know. Now then, would you kindly leave the magnet gun at the designated stand? We cannot continue unless you do. Oh, and don't worry, you'll get a new one later. If all goes well. As this is just a preliminary test chamber, the choice before you is rather simple. Later choices might be a lot more difficult for you. You ready? In the middle of the chamber, there is a button. My question for you today is the following. Will you press it? You have 20 seconds to make up your mind, so I suggest that you think quickly. The countdown has begun. Make your choice. Well done. You may go back the way you came. Nothing more to see here. Once the lights above the door turn green, you can leave the chamber and enter the transit to your cell. done, Subject XE47623. You've managed to dig your way through the basic evaluation chambers with a passable grade. I'm sure the pleasure has been mutual. Good luck and welcome to the weapons testing program. Try to get some rest before Warden Keene sends for you.
Not a single scratch. Seems like the people upstairs really have made the basic evaluation module too easy. It used to be different. Well then, prisoner. It's time. When the lights turn green, enter the transit and we will make sure you get started. I'm almost looking forward to seeing how long you will last. Trapped in here, I might as well tell you a few things about this place. The container you're being transported in is called the Subject Transit Module. We have close to 100 of these installed, moving from cell blocks to evaluation chambers. Sometimes they even take someone back again. As you can probably see, the Subject Transit Modules were originally built from garbage containers. Very appropriate if you ask me. Ah, isn't this nice though? Almost like a guided tour, right?
Oh god.
Welcome, prisoner XE47623. This is where the real trial begins. I hope that the basic evaluation has been of some use, else this will be a short journey for you, and a waste of time for me. Pick up the magnet gun and let's get on with it. Let's see what Karen's basic training has taught you. I would be incredibly surprised if you somehow managed to get yourself killed in here. But then again, it all depends on what you have learned. impressive how utterly useless some prisoners can be. Even children know better than to stand in an open fire.
Children know better than to stand in an open fire. Yeah, it's got a point. Admit.
Fluorine gas is rather useful. During the Great War, it was employed on a large scale to combat enemy trenches. In here, however, we use it as an incentive for you to stay on the ledges. Normally, I would not tell you this, but you don't seem like the kind of creature that pays attention to warnings. basketball before you dropped out of school, did you? How very quaint.
Quite fun. Good news. So many chapters there are. Hold on a second, I need to nip to the loo. Yo, I can't actually find out anything to tell me how many chapters, how long the game is, blah blah blah. So, I'll just get on with it.
Nice shot. Let's see if you can repeat it. Well done. You may proceed.
Had a sudden flashback, nostalgic feeling of missing Atomic Heart. Really, I do miss Atomic Heart. I've always really liked that title. Strange because I didn't really play it much before it started coming
The
off Game
prison
Pass.
psychologist has asked us to include some less lethal chambers. This one was designed for 7 to 10-year-olds.
7 to 10 euros.
You have 5 minutes before we start filling this chamber with chlorine gas. I suggest you are done with this child's toy by then.
Can't actually see where it is. Annoying that it's like Newton's laws are so stuck to, because
After you are done here, the chamber will reset. You dig a hole, we fill it in.
not especially easy that.
So far, so good. It's astonishing how many boxes you have managed to place on buttons in such a short amount of time. I'm sure you will be remembered as one of the best box placers of your generation. Puzzles were designed to give you a sense of accomplishment. Even if all you really managed to achieve was putting a few boxes where they belong.
Oh, it wasn't too bad.
I really hate these playground shenanigans. They make this place look juvenile, and we have a job to do. The upside is that many take them too lightly, and the look on a prisoner's face when they go down a slippery slide straight into the gas is amusing, to say the least. So, you've got another box on your hands. Now you just have to figure out what to do with it.
The old head of scratch there. bit awkward as to whether or not you catch and hold the box or whatever. But nothing like glitchy or a problem, just a little bit awkward. I think it's just part of the game, really. It's because it's got good physics to it.
That suit you are wearing is designed to endure a bit of heat, but nothing of this magnitude. Those boxes, however, are made of more resilient stuff. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze. Somehow, I don't think that part of the scripture was meant for you.
Can't actually see what's going on there.
disappoint you, prisoner XE47623. Purgatory is not done. All right, listen. This chamber has not been completely validated yet. Someone upstairs thought it would be interesting to give our intern a chance to redesign one of the earlier chambers. And this is the result. Jenkins, a prisoner has entered your little creation. If she dies in there, I'm buying you a beer.
Where it went to. Be very good. Looking, because everything wood here, every wound here is attracted. Everything around here. That is full of oil and gas.
Oh, looks like Jenkins will have to go thirsty a little bit longer. Maybe the next one that comes through is a little less careful.
I like that the difficulty doesn't just linearly increase; it goes up and down, up and down. Nice.
You are free to choose which part of this puzzle you wish to solve first. Our dear psychology expert might say something about how that helps you vermin retain a small sense of control in your lives. Personally, I don't care which trap you fall in or where you misstep. Sooner or later, you all make mistakes. It's just a matter of time now.
before.
Seems like you made it through the first part somehow. This evaluation module holds no more chambers. I guess it's time for another therapy session with our dear Karen. Have fun making your choice.
Prisoner XE47623. So you've managed to survive Mr. Keen's rough treatment. That is fortunate. We get so few prisoners with true survival instinct these days. But I digress. You have come here to answer another question after all. Leave your device at the stand and we shall begin. In the last room you passed, there were a number of boxes, buttons, and traps. They all have a purpose. You use them to progress in your journey. But do you really see them? Do you appreciate them as you use them to get what you want? How many boxes did you use in the last chamber? Think. And when you have done so, step onto the correct button. If you choose poorly, I have no choice but to reprimand you. In here, paying attention to your surroundings is not voluntary. It's the only way to survive. The countdown has begun, so I suggest that you make your mind up. Oh, that stings a bit, doesn't it? Perhaps that will remind you of the pain others have felt when you've used them in the past. I am not enjoying this, you know. I am not like Mr. Keen in that regard. I do this to make sure you can get as far as you possibly can.
I chose correctly. I used two. Oh, shit. Don't let you do.
Another mistake, then. These questions are rather pointless, though, so I would not worry about it. She might care about how your cognitive abilities deteriorate over time, but you should not make the mistake to think that she cares about you. Nobody cares about your kind. If they did, you would not be down here in the first place.
Back to the cell.
Rise and shine, prisoner. You've rested long enough. We...
Yeah, I think that's chapter 1 done. Or tier 1, it's called. Cool, alright, I'm going to kick it, take it easy. Oh look, there's me in the top right hand corner. Sweet. That's cool. Alright, in a bit.